If you just take a seat. Good to see you. Are you well?
Very well, sir.
Good. Right, it's 5 minutes. I don't know whether you've ever done a 5-minute interview before. Probably not. I've got a list of questions. I'm going to try and rush through just to help us out. Okay, so we'll go here. Now, we're almost ready to start. Time starts now. What do you think your greatest gift is?
I suppose the capacity to communicate and the will to serve. From those gifts, I've seen profound changes take place in my lifetime.
What has been the happiest moment of your life?
I suppose one high moment would be the opportunity to work with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. directly. But there have been some other moments. The blessing to be able to bring people back home from captivity, whether in Syria or Iraq or Yugoslavia or Cuba, Liberia, to see people in captivity set free because of negotiations with very high moments.
If we stick with Dr. Martin Luther King for a moment, you were on the balcony, of course, when he was assassinated.
I was on the ground talking with him when he was shot.
When are you happiest now in your life?
I suppose to see the fruits of the labors of our work. I cannot help but think about President Barack Obama being declared the winner. He really ran the last lap of a 54-year marathon. From the legal changes in America in 1954, we ended apartheid, the legal boundaries came down. Dr. King, the 55 boycott, and then the Voting Rights Act, and then those struggles, the models, the marches. After all of that, one day he became president. Mandela was set free. The freedom of Mandela and the election of Barack Obama, big moments.
And how big a part do you feel you played personally in paving the way for an Obama presidency?
I was a part of a lineage of people who worked to tear down the walls, and those who tore down walls were going against a headwind, and often were injured or martyred or murdered. I was a part of those I marched Trafalgar Square in Britain. I was jailed fighting to use a public library, and so those who were the demolition crew who brought down the walls paid a bit. I was a part of the demolition crew, as it were, but now the walls are down, bridges are being built, and one sees the byproducts of those who tore down ancient walls. I think about East and West Berlin. When the walls came down, you could make a new East and West Berlin, and we've started to do that in America and now around the world.
How much further is there to go in the United States with race relations?
Well, we now have more freedoms because many whites are changing. Those who once resisted allowing black and brown and female talent to express itself now embrace those new changes. But then there is the structural inequality that remains. In other words, while blacks and browns and women are doing better in football and basketball, track and athletics and tennis and politics, it's midday in our politics, but in our economy, it's midnight. So disparities, the people of color, highest infant mortality rate, shortest life expectancy, most target subprime lending foreclosures, and so now closing those economic gaps as we seek equality, those are the remaining challenges.
Now we're against the clock. I want to ask you about baseball. Is it true that you were offered a professional contract?
As a high school senior, yes.
And did you turn it down?
Yes, I had a choice really between playing college football or trying professional baseball. I thought that the odds were better for me to do college football and go to college than to pursue baseball, which I loved very much.
But do you still watch a lot of sport?
I do.
When did you first become religious?
Well, that's a part of a cultural orientation, the kind of parental church upbringing. My religion took on different meaning, however, as I began to interpret, it was our religious obligation to change the laws under which we operated. The moral vision to be a minority with a majority vision to see beyond our predicament. So I think at some point in time, it was the church that led us to sit in and choose the dignity of fighting over adjusting and being complacent. So today, as I fight to make crooked ways straight and to exalt values, these are essentially religious imperatives.
A few lighter questions, under a minute to go. How tall are you?
6'3".
How do you wind down after a long day?
Just work until I'm exhausted and just collapse.
Do you listen to a lot of music? Who's your greatest musician ever?
Well, I suppose Sam Cooke. And we've been blessed to have great musicians, whether it is the Beatles or Billy Preston. Music is universal, and so we've been able to appreciate the joy of people like Quincy Jones across the years.
Do you go on holiday?
Not very much.
Where do you go if you do go?
Well, it's often in retreat because it's the constant need for spiritual revitalization and have some therapy and fun at the same time.
What animal do you see yourself as? I'd say I'm a badger, probably. 2 seconds to go. A lion, perhaps?
Maybe an eagle that flies above the clouds.
Look, there it goes. A slight delay to the alarm, but that's it. Fantastic. Really great to meet you.
Thank you.